If you have a HotS beta key, you should play HotS, I think. Okay. I don't think this is Grubby. I just don't see him saying that at the start of the game. He's really friendly. It's not much of a story, but I stood next to Grubby in line at an MLG, and I introduced myself, and he was really friendly, really nice. So I'm a Grubby fan. Damn, so he was... This is Grubby, that's sick. Wow. Sick, sick, sick. Alright, I'll take a good look at this. I'll take an in-depth look at this. So I'll look at things from your perspective. This scout was sent a little bit too early. You can send it later and get all the information that you need. You see 27 energy on the chrono boost on the Nexus and 1 gas. 16 CC correct. Depot SCV looks good. This SCV, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I believe you should build a bunker before your second barracks, but this is okay. You can squeeze this out if you build a bunker really quickly. Yeah, I think that's actually very safe and maybe optimal. I think that's good stuff. So third barracks, excellent. Now, this is a tricky map with all this stuff going on. Stalker play is quite popular on this map. So, you haven't seen an expansion. He did take his second gas, but he took it pretty late. So, all of my triggers in my head are based on my scout timing, which is later than yours. So, when I scout, maybe the gas would have been taken already. But, yeah, I would say it's safe to assume he's expanding. Probably. I'm going to analyze under that assumption. I think you snuck your SCV in a little bit early. I would have kept it over here and snuck it in at like 6 minutes.
Upgrade complete.
I would like you to have a couple Marines up by your mineral line for safety. I think that's important. And let's see how we're doing. We're at about 30 supply. So stim is about to be started. And this is where you decide what tech you're going to go. This is not great. And Terran pretty much always techs up. You know, you're going to get medevacs, you're going to get upgrades. But there are some subtle differences between, you know, lines of play based on when you plop down your eBay, when you get your factory, when you get your add-ons. Okay, so you get a scout in and you see Phoenix. You probably thought it was Oracles. I would have thought that. It's hard to see what's coming out of a Stargate.
Additional supply depots.
So, this turret placement... Oops. Oops. Shit.
Add-on complete.
This is not a successful scouting strategy. Protoss has a stalker out, and they should have, most of the time they'll have 2, and you know that. Sending an SCV straight across the map into their natural is not going to work most of the time. It's just not.
Additional supply depots required.
Okay, if you saw that it's Phoenix, You don't need to turret so
Additional
early, because
supply
Phoenix,
depots
they need to, Protoss needs to have like 4 Phoenix to actually deal damage. These turrets are, at least this one is very poorly placed, and so is this one. In your current setup, you're very safe, because you have Marines patrolling this area, and the perimeter turrets. But over the course of the game, these Marines are going to have to leave. And it would be better to have your turret covering more of your mineral line, either here or here, and same on the at the natural. Building a perimeter of turrets is a strategy. I prefer that in TvT and TvZ, where the turrets will be more useful all game long. But these turrets are pretty much only useful against Phoenix, so you just want to optimize them against the Phoenix. Building a turret ring to keep out observers is kind of meh. There's not enough variety of what Terran can do to gain value from that. Overall, not bad. Oh god, the second turret is killing me, and so is this one. That's way overkill. I would like to see, of course, depots, but like a Marine at the watchtower, maybe both watchtowers. That would be nice. DT drops are not not really a viable strategy. Like, they're doable, but they're not very good. They're not bad or anything. They're just not usually going to net an advantage. Just because, like... Yeah, DT drops are not really too scary of a thing. There are certain situations, in particular... scrappy kind of scrambling games where DT drops are really effective, but in a normal macro game where everything is going normally, both players are going to have a lot of production coming out and a lot of money. So doing a little light harassment, killing a few SCVs, and then having the DTs scanned off isn't going to accomplish much. Terran will just build a couple Vikings. They're going to have 3 orbitals with scans. It's just not a very threatening thing. Okay, so in this game, I like, you're doing the correct thing. Staying defensive is very good. I like that you're getting your 5 barracks on 1 base, or on 2 bases, to put some aggression on. You're really pumping up in the military aspect of your arsenal. I don't know. Just a few little things. Couple supply blocks, +1 attack should be on the way. 2 turrets is overkill for these mineral lines. And even though he's got Phoenix on the field, I'd like a couple Marines just for intel. Like, you don't know if he's following this up with a gateway all in. That happens. It's not likely, but it can happen. Oh. You need to get your 2 medevacs before Vikings, no matter what. Every single time. No exceptions. Not even if there's, like... It's just, there's no exceptions that I can think of. Always two medevacs. Like, you're kind of being afraid of ghosts here. You're respecting the Phoenix way too much. 1 turret at each mineral line, and then you can, like, push out with your Marines and start to scare the Protoss. Ghost Scout is 3rd. Like, Phoenix don't do much. Even Grubby Phoenix. A couple of tech labs here. Yeah, like, the medevacs are just huge. I can't emphasize that enough. Like, getting out on the map at this time in the game to put pressure on the Protoss and really restrict what Protoss can do is huge. You get scouting info, you get you give yourself opportunities to win. And you just force Protoss to be more defensive. So this +1 armor needs to happen. At this point, Protoss is going to have a Colossus up, and they're going to have a third base up, 12 minutes in. I haven't seen it because I'm only looking at your vision, but there's going to be a third base and probably 2 Colossus. It is possible Protoss goes Templar, but I don't see it very often. Third base is on the way, and there are 2 Colossus. And so this push clearly is not happening. You're going to see the Colossus and turn around. So this is where you need to get a third started. How do you win this game? I would practically GG from your position.
Ready to plunder.
I mean, you're base down against Protoss. Huh. Grubby is not floating money. Grubby's doing fine. He's got under 500 minerals.
Base is under attack.
And besides, like, anybody... The thing about floating money is if it all gets spent by the time the engagement happens, you didn't lose very much. You just didn't lose much.
Additional supply depots required.
Especially if you've got like your upgrades rolling, which Grubby did. But if it's just macro, like if you throw down gateways and warp in units and eventually get your money low, you didn't lose anything. Alright. So constructive criticism. I want to find some constructive criticism here. What you should have done when you saw the Colossus was pulled back and retreated. You should have had a Marine going over to the third of Grubby so you could see what that status of that third was. And make a decision on whether you needed to all-in him or start catching up economically. Or if he's on 2 bases, you can just make a decision on... You can decide to play defensively or to take a third and put yourself ahead. But without getting that info, you're just playing in the dark. Alright, so... The things that you need to do to complete your tech tree are to get an armory and start 2 eBays rolling and to get the Caduceus reactor for the medevacs. Those are the key things you need to do. And there's no particular order those things need to happen, but they do need to happen. The third base
Upgrade
is an orbital, no exceptions.
Upgrade complete.
It's that cut and dry. You just have to make it an orbital. If you're playing TvP properly without making mistakes, Protoss never has map control. And if they do, it's a base trade situation. You should never be like rallying to your natural unless you're like dropping their main with all your units. Terran just has to keep that edge. Protoss has a stronger army in head-up engagements. Colossus and Psystorm are more efficient than Ghosts and Vikings. And Terran's advantage is in faster units and more cost-efficient units in low numbers. And so the only way to make the most of the strength of the Terran units is by having map control and playing aggressively. So the towers belong to you. Grubby's got both of them, and he's got like pretty much full map vision. So Grubby has essentially created a funnel for himself. The only way you can attack him right now is through this area on the minimap, and that's what Protoss wants. Protoss wants a tiny little funnel engaging in a choke point like this, and Terran will lose if that's what happens. Terran needs to be pulling Protoss apart and then picking off stray units and only taking those engagements when they're very favorable for Terran. Just something to keep in mind. On a positive note, because I would like to say something positive, you're playing a macro game against Grubby. That's pretty sick. I applaud you for that.
Upgrade complete.
And, yeah. I mean, you took huge losses early,
Upgrade complete.
and you're still in the game. Your APM is good, but you're not doing anything. So I'm not really sure what you're using it on. Like, when I play TvP, I'm constantly doing 2 or 3 drops and pressuring with an army, and my APM is like 180. So your APM is good, but you're not really utilizing it by multitasking.
Additional supply depots required. Mineral field depleted. Additional supply depots required. Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
Yeah, drops are definitely very situational. You have to, they have to be strategically sound. If you're playing a game like this, and I'm sorry to be saying that negatively, but if you're playing in a situation like this and you send drops out, they're just going to get feedbacked because they're going to be seen. But if you've got full map control and the Protoss is restricted to like this area of vision and everything else is fog of war, you can scan ahead and like pull the Protoss apart. It's just like clockwork, you know. You attack with an army at the third. They pull their army to defend it, and then you run like 8 Marines and a medevac into their natural and kill a bunch of probes. But that only works if you first locked down the map completely. Anyway, I can only see you getting destroyed here by Psystorms. Like, you're obviously a very good player, and I'm only trying to say things that are really going to improve your game here. I'm not just trying to be a dick. But it's just something to work on. Okay, cool. So, Grubby is giving you a lot of time. He's giving you a lot of time. I'm not sure why. He's got a big tech advantage, and he's up a base. It's interesting that he's doing hallucinated warp prisms. I definitely do believe that this is Grubby at this point, just because looking at his map vision and his play has been really intelligent. Like, the little things that he's doing. Alright, so you get your ghost out and you snipe excellently. That's good. How the fuck do you beat Grubby here? You're down 60 supply. Why is he killing all his own units? Oh, he's probably clearing supply. That makes sense. He was clearing supply for carriers. Damn. Shitting on his zealous. This game serves as a good example. Like, when you're behind, if you can max out, you have a chance. Like, the bigger the armies get, the higher the chance that you can just take a great engagement and win. Like, if you're behind and you're trading constantly, that's not a great situation because the math is just bad for you. If your opponent's income is 50% of your income and you're trading equally or even slightly favorably, that's really bad. But if your opponent, if you're not trading and you both max out, and then your opponent's income advantage is converted to like 8 extra gateways and an extra upgrade on the plasma shields or whatever, then like you're fine. That's not, the game won't be decided on 8 gateways. Sweet, man. That's a fucking sick win. That's a sick win. All right, let me pull out a game. A game of my own, just to illustrate my approach to TvP. Composition-wise, we're doing the same things, and we play quite similarly in that regard, but I just play a little bit more aggressively.
Additional supply depots required.
I'll just
Base
breeze through
is
the
under
opening.
attack.
Piece of me, boy. This better be good.
I also delayed my bunker, which I don't like.
Upgrade complete. Add-on complete.
Stim, +1 attack. Scouting the map. And reacting to a proxy pylon. Factory. Reactors. Reactors. Come on, reactors. Now, the third command center was in response to the DTs, which I think I've seen. Yeah, I've seen the DTs. He ran up a DT and it got killed. And shutting down an early game harass like that is the equivalent of winning a small battle. And when you win a battle, expand. The two reactors are a stylistic thing. It's just it's not necessarily better than 2 tech labs in a reactor. It's just personal choice. The difference is the 2 reactors gives your army more firepower, DPS, and less toughness, HP. You're going to have more Marines. You're going to have later combat shields, as you would if you had gone for 2 tech labs. But your army will deal damage a lot faster. And that really complements the way I play this matchup, where I'm kind of like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, only attacking where I have the advantage, and
Complete.
trying to spread the Protoss out as much as I can.
Upgrade.
And I'm perfectly comfortable attacking into Colossus with only Marines, if I think I can win.
Add-on complete.
So these Marines are there to spot observers.
Upgrade.
This game is a little bit different than my usual. This push is like 30 seconds later, and I've got this earlier command center. So I'm going to be playing significantly less aggressively, because with an early third command center, to take full advantage of that, I want the game to go a little bit longer. So I want it. It's worth it for me to invest in more infrastructure and things that are going to pay off in the long run. If I wanted to end the game quickly, I would have not built this third command center.
Upgrade complete.
Ready for dust off.
Research complete.
Ready for dust off.
We could use some help here.
Research. Additional supply depots required.
So I found an opening. I saw where his army was and just flew in. Killed a couple gateways for free, and flew out. This isn't actually the best game.
Upgrade. Research. Add-on complete. Upgrade complete. Additional supply depots. Add-on complete.
But there is a lot of me running in and killing stuff and then running out.
Upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted.
I'm not doing a lot of multi-pronged attacking, which is usually what I do really heavily.
Gangway, coming through. Ghost reporting. This better be good.
There shouldn't ever be risky attacks from Terran, because you can always scan ahead,
Mineral field.
and you should always be engaging in such a way that you can retreat, because Terran units are faster, so you can always run if you're not going to win a battle as
Research
Terran.
complete.
You can boost your medevacs and stim your bio.
Ghost reporting. Ghost reporting.
So like this scan allows me to figure out what I want to do with this stuff. And in this case, I'm so far ahead that trading is going to be profitable. Open that game very shortly. Let me look at another one. Yeah, TvZ Terran has a lot of different ways they can play and be successful. But aggressive TvZ is very similar to aggressive TvP. So this game is going to feature the exact same build order. Double gas, 2 orbitals, tech lab, eBay. I had 3 Marines up here, and I pulled them when I saw his mothership core at his natural. But I actually put them back because I was kind of worried about oracles. So this is very much my bread and butter in this matchup. This is just an aggressive game. Adios. So I scan, and this is the beauty of Terran. Whenever I off race, I always try to scan because I just want to see what they're doing. I just naturally like hit my scan hotkeys. So I saw he built enough that I couldn't just attack.
Research
So
complete.
I am taking my 3rd, and I am preparing my armory, and I'll be getting my 2nd eBay. But so like I'm preparing to play a longer game. But what I want to focus on is how I attack this Protoss, who's played pretty safely. He's got a lot of gateways, just 1 forge, couple Colossus. So I had sent out this drop, I think,
Base is
but
under
it was
attack.
spotted, so I sent it back. And I'm just so I'm attacking the 3rd, and when he pushes out, I run away, and when he retreats, I move forward. I'm just mirroring the Protoss at engagement range, and the minute I can take advantage of anything, I'm going to.
Upgrade complete.
Floating the factory in for vision. I thought I could kill this, and I did. And oops, that's something I'd like to take a look at.
This better be good.
Upgrade complete.
So I'd like to see a smart engagement here, like a scan ahead. Okay, so I saw this 1 Colossus walking down, and that's usually a very good signal if you kind of see 1 lone Colossus. So that's when I made the decision to get aggressive here. If I had seen this army, I would not have. I would have retreated. So I stim in, take out the Colossus, and then retreat, and thankfully he does not force field well. So I killed the third, and I'm now a base up. But Protoss has got nothing here. Like, they've got... Protoss has... This observer is a huge mistake. But imagine if this observer was not here, and Protoss's vision was just, like, their bases. That's, like, brutal that that observer is there. But that's... Yeah. So if Protoss just doesn't have this vision, they're just like... They've got this whole perimeter to defend. I'm just looking at it from his perspective now. And I saw like all his stalkers down at his third, so I knew his main would be fine. And I'm dropping his natural at the same time. And I'm curious what I do with these units here. So these are going to run. This drop is working out fine. Okay. And so I'm poking in here while his units are defending the drop. This isn't anything like too special. It's just kind of standard play. Standard aggressive play. Like when you know your opponent's army is somewhere, you can definitely attack where it is not. And now right when this Nexus cannon goes down, this drop is going to come back in and drop again. These guys should be ran a little bit earlier. Unnecessary casualties. Okay. So I've gotten way far ahead. I've done a ton of damage, which is why I feel like I can recoup, and I expected Protoss all-in to be imminent. And because I didn't have much of a presence or pressure, that's why I'm not sending this drop in. Just a lone drop by itself is not it's not a very sound strategy. Like, this army right now should be out here. It's a mistake for it to be back at my base.
Field depleted.
So, this is just like... This is an attack against Protoss. And the way this should look is this stuff boosts and flies away. And I don't lose anything here. Maybe a unit. And all this stuff just kills free stuff. This stuff should lift and fly away too. So I got this stuff away. I got some of this stuff away. And my third squad is doing damage. So I finally get these units in action. Like, it's infinitely better for my rally point to be down here than if it's up here. My units are safe here because I can always run, and it just gives me opportunity to do things like this. So I'll fight here until Colossus come down, and then I'll retreat.
Additional supply depots required.
And like, this is where I retreat. The minute the battle is not gonna be plus EV for me.
Upgrade complete.
Ready for dust off.
So yeah, basically how you're playing TvZ. But you really need to have this sort of style Otherwise, like, at least for me personally, like, I'm only speaking from my personal experience. If I don't keep Protoss on their toes, like, the entire game, I lose. And it's a pretty fragile style. If I lose a couple dropships to medevacs, and I'm put in the position where I have to just macro up and fight Protoss, I don't win those games, you know? I just can't really do it.
Upgrade complete.
And eventually you just do end up winning.